welcome back to a new tutorial. In this tutorial, I will show you how to add some turrets to our tower defense game. In this tutorial, I will not be showing how to add a shop. I'm just going to use a basic key press placement for now, and then we will also be coding in the enemy health into the enemies. So let's get started. Let's paint a new sprite and I'm going to call it turrets. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a circle for the base of the turret, and I'm going to make the outline 10, and then maybe 7, and then I'm going to make this on top, and this will be the the gun part, and then I'm going to change the color of these, and then I'm just going to draw just this. Okay, so change this. This or something, then I'll make this gray. And then I'll make this bigger, so then yeah, this works. And I'll just call this basic turret. I'll add more turrets later. Right now I'll just do this one. So first thing we're gonna do is when clicked, we're gonna hide when the green flag is clicked. We're gonna make a new variable for this sprite only and call it clone ID, kind of like in the enemies. And then we can set the clone ID to main, and then so it knows it's the main sprite. And then forever, you can say right now I'll just make it so that we can place them whenever we want, but later I'll make it so that you can't place turrets before while the enemies are spawning. Well, actually we could do that right now. So we could say I'll just do that in a different video. Okay, so what you're gonna do is then if the key space is pressed, and if the main, we don't need this, but I'm just gonna do this just in case, the clone ID part for this. Okay, so then if key space is pressed, then this can be what we can use to place. So wait until not key space pressed, and then show and go to front, and then set size to be 150 because my turret was a little small, and then repeat until the key space is pressed again. So that will be to place it, and you can drag it. Then and also point in direction 90, and then we can say go to mouse pointer, and then we can also say if, then key pressed, and then we can get right arrow, and so then we can rotate the turrets, maybe turn 3 degrees, and then if the left arrow is pressed, then we can turn left, and make sure that your thing is set to all around, so just click that. And then after it repeats, then it's going to wait until it's not pressed. Wait until not key space pressed. And then it's going to create a clone of itself. And then create a clone of myself, and then it's going to hide after it does that. Okay, so now we can, and then place them. So now it's working, and maybe I'm gonna change this to be like 120. Yeah, I think that's a better size. Next, what we need to say is we can put an and on here, and we can say and wait, no, I just dragged this. Wait, no, I didn't. Okay, so and then we can say not, and then we can get the path color. So then you can't put it on the path. So and it's not touching the path. And then we can also say, and then we can say, yeah, so now if it can't place it, but it's still cloning. So we can say, wait, see, because then it creates a clone still. Yeah, it's still creating the clone. Well, first thing I guess we could just say is, when I start as a clone, if it's touching this color, then delete this clone. So then, now, I don't think we have more than one now. Yeah, so it's not there, so yeah. Then what we can say is, now what we can say also is we can say if we're touching this color, then we can paint a new costume. So we can just duplicate this. I want basic turret can't place, and then we can like just put like a red box around it. Oops. And none. And then so if you guys are on Turbo Warp, there's this thing you can do where you can just say, you can change this so then it looks see-through. So yeah, we can just say if, we can change this to an if else. So if else we're touching this color, we're gonna switch the costume. Right now, it's just gonna switch the costume to the basic turret, but later we can put in like a variable to determine which one. So now, I can't place it, so that's good. And then just gonna make sure, okay, you can turn them and place them. I'm gonna make it turn more like 5 maybe, just so it's a little faster. Yep, okay, so that's good. And then, so then we can say show and go to front, basically, for these. And then, so yeah, that's basically, yeah, what it's gonna do. So then we can say so then we can say just a sec. Okay, just a second. We're gonna need some lists. We can make a new list and say, we can call it turret X for all sprites, and then turret Y. So this is so that the bullets know where to go. And then we can also make one called turret direction for all sprites. So this is so the bullets know what direction to point in. And then we can say, so then what we're gonna do, yeah, I might add it so like you can like upgrade turrets or stuff, but for now, I'm just gonna do it just with these lists, like, so then we're gonna just say when the flag is clicked, we're gonna delete all of turret direction, delete all of turret X, and then delete all of turret Y. And then we're going to here, we're going to say add X position, no, add direction to turret direction, and then add to turret X and turret Y. So add X position, and then add the Y position to the turret Y. So then so now what we can do is make a new sprite and call it basic bullets. So we might need a new sprite for each kind of turret. So right now I'm just gonna do like a gray bullet, so an outline of like 5, and then and then if you hold shift, you can just draw a perfect circle, and then I'm gonna center it. Okay, so then we can say, yeah, just a lot like this. When clicked, hide. Oh yeah, and we can also say in the turrets, I forgot to say when I started the clone, to set the clone ID to clone. Okay, so then in the bullets, we can say when clicked, hide, and then forever, if and we can also put like a wave started variable, but right now we don't have that, so we can just say if, and then length of turret X, it doesn't matter which list you use, until it's greater than 0, so that we know that there is a turret. Then we can say create a clone of myself, and then wait like 1 second, and then we can say also here, we can say repeat the length of the turret X, so it'll do all the bullet codes and then it will wait before they all fire again. So then when I start as a clone, we're gonna show, and then what we're gonna do is, yeah, we also need a variable called clone ID for this right only. So then when we set clone ID to 0, and we change clone ID by 1, so show, and then, well, before it shows, we're gonna go to and then item of block. So we can say go to item clone ID of the turret X and the turret Y, and then we can also point in the direction the item clone ID. So this is each going to go to each part of the list, and then so each one's going to have their own, and it's repeating however long the list is, so it knows how many there are, and then it's going to point in those directions and stuff, and then say, and we're going to have, I think I might add upgrades so you can like upgrade a certain turret, but right now I'm not, so we can just do it this way, repeat until touching edge, and then we can say or touching the enemy. Then we can say oh yeah, we also need to show and go to front. Okay, so then we're gonna move like 5 steps, or maybe more like 8 steps, and then we're just gonna delete this clone. So now if we try it, it should work, and now you can see it is shooting in the direction. Let's try making a one in a different direction, and it's working. So then what we can say is we can just, to make it go to the back of the turret, we can just say if else, and then we can say touching the turret. Then we can go to back layer, else go to front. Okay, so now it should look like it's coming out of the turret more. Okay, so then there, and then maybe set the size to more like 80, just because I want it to match a bit more. Okay, that looks good. And you see how it's kind of like cropping out some of the circle? Well, it kind of looks like that, but see? Well, I can show you guys an easy hack on how to fix that. You can just go into the costume and then like do like a square with no fill and no outline, and then just drag it on top, and then as you can see, it's perfect now, and it's not cutting any of the thing out. So then what we're gonna do now is go into the enemies, and we need a new variable called health for this sprite only. So this will keep track of the enemy health. And right here in the clone setup, if the type equals 1, we can say set health. We can set the health to like maybe just 3. I mean maybe like 2 for the basic enemies. And then we also need right here we can say this is going to be for the damage, which I might make a thing that you can upgrade it, but right now you can just say also when I start as a clone forever, if it's touching the enemy, then I'm gonna have like a damage variable probably so it can do different damages. But right now I'm just gonna say if touching enemy, then well actually the enemy health is not we can just say, so like it's not like something that you can change, so we can just say when I start as a clone in here forever, if touching the enemy, the bullet, then we can say change health. Right now it can just be -1. Whoops, -1. Okay, so then clean up, and then so we can say we just need to put an or in all of these. So or, and then a less than, and then 1. Well, actually what we can do easier would just be to say, just put this back in and then say, when I start as a clone forever, if the health is less than 1 right now, health is less than 1, then we can say, we can make a new one called change cash amount. Well, we can make a variable called cash first for all sprites, for the money, and then we can make a variable called change cash amount. So when we have upgrades and stuff, or different turrets from the shop, then we can, this is how we can get the cash. So then make one called change cash amount for this sprite only. And so then in the clone setup, if the type equals 1, I'm just going to set it to the same as the health. And then I'm going to do cleanup blocks. And then, so this is the cache. And then if it's less than 1, change cache by change cache amount. And then delete this clone. And so here, we can also make a new variable for all sprites called health, and this is just for all sprites. So, and I can just put it over here. So then, what we can say is, so for the health, okay, there. And we can say when flag is clicked, we can set the health to like the capital H to 10. So that's the one for all sprites. That's gonna be like the health, and if it gets to 0, then you lose the game. And then we can say change health, because this would be it made it to the end, and then you can make a new variable for this sprite only called damage. And then we can just set the damage to 1 for this one. And then cleanup blocks, and then say damage times -1 though, so it will change it and not make it go up. And then, so now let's see if we can do that, and then we can also delete the clones. Okay. Yeah, the enemies are a little too fast. I'm gonna set the speed to like maybe just 2. Okay, so now we have the basic turrets, and they're doing the shooting, and you can shoot the enemies. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll make it weight something more like 0.5. And I still think the enemies are too fast, so I'm just gonna set it to 1. Just because. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna set the speed to 2, and I'm just gonna set the health to 1, and then change cache amount to 1. Okay, so there. And one more thing. I'm just going to say set the cache to 0 when the flag is clicked. And I think that's it for part 2. Next I don't know, maybe I'll make different enemy types, or different turrets, or a shop, or upgrades. We'll just see. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next video. So don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and bye.